Now then, you join me at the cowshed at the hottest part of the day. It's about 28 degrees, but what we're going to do, we're going to be cooking this tomahawk using this on this. So because this is such a big piece of meat and we're going to hang it, we've got a tendency for it to come apart around about there. So what I do is, let's get out of here. What I do, don't know if it's right, I can't remember what my butcher taught me, but here you go. I go over once, over again, fiddle around with it a bit, underneath, and then pull it through, so it gives you like a double knot that you can pull tight, like so. And then when you pull it, when you tighten it up, it just slides on there, on the existing rope string, and you can pull it tight like that. And the easier one is this. Just loop it over, back under, through, pull tight, get knife, cut off. And there we have a stringed up tomahawk with hull, ready to be hung over fire. So because this is a longer cook, I'm going to put a bed of charcoal before I build a little tower of timber, just to prolong the heat and make it easier for when you're adding more timber, just for it to keep it going easier. So we don't need a lot, just a little cover, and yeah, let's do it. Right, now we've got this lit, we've let the wood turn to embers, it's really nice and hot, and what we're going to do, we're just going to hang this from a height and just let it cook over the heat. What we'll keep doing is we'll add small bits of splits, just like that, so it gives off a little smoke as well, just to flavour the meat, and then we let it hang. So some of you may have noticed that before I put that on over the fire, I didn't put any seasoning on, and I do have a reason behind that. So this tomahawk has been in the fridge dry brining, so I've basically coated one side with a massive handful of salt, rubbed it in and just left it to soak in. Turned it over the next day, done the same, and then just patted it dry. So the outside skin is, or the outside flesh is very, very dry, which should give us a really nice bark when we come to sear the meat. But what I have got is, and it's something I've started using recently, is Salmura, which is a vinegar salty brine. So I will put a recipe for this on my socials, but basically all I've been doing is just shake it up, and during like any stage of cooking, what I've been doing is just, I might just tip it that way, is just coat the skin, coat the flesh, and it gives it this really, really nice salty flavour, creates smoke, and yeah, you don't need, it's always about doing something different with me, so we'll see how it finishes. But yeah, we're currently about 20 minutes, half an hour in, and it's doing nicely. It's just starting to render out. You can see drips of fat, which is hitting the coals, creating smoke. The smoke is then creating the flavour and flavouring the meat. But yeah, we're well on his way. The fat is just unbelievable. Don't know if you can see that on camera, but see how rendered that fat is. So, yep. So we're about just over an hour in, and I've added a big chunk of a log split there, just to give a bit more smoke off, because with it being a bit windy, these smaller pieces were just burning too quick, whereas this is smouldering more than burning to give us that smoke. I've also just put a hook and pulled it just over this way a little bit, just to try and render a bit more of this fat this other side, and it is starting to work. But yeah, it's still nowhere near done, but it's well on its way. So we're 3 hours in now. We're coming up to temperature. I reckon we're about 40. Let's have a look. So 42, nice. 45. So I'm going to take this off and just sit it on here, and we're going to just change how we're cooking, because I want to finish it on the coals. But if we just let it rest for a little bit, and then we'll finish it on the coals. That's looking fantastic. So yeah, we'll just leave this to one side to rest, and we will come back to finish the dish. So the meat's resting behind us. We're going to create a bit of a warm salad now. So it's going to be a broccoli and asparagus salad, and finish it off with some crumbled feta cheese. So start by chopping the asparagus. So I normally just cut them, fancy on the green bit, no fan, you know, just like that. And this is a British asparagus, which is currently in season. So if you like asparagus, get it bought, because it is pretty nice. So that's them chopped. Then I've just got some tender stem broccoli. I've got a bed of charcoal. It is mega hot there. So I've got a cooking tray here that's got holes in. So I'm just going to bring it to this side here, just so it's off of the main focus of heat. So this is just rapeseed oil we're going to drizzle over. We're going to hit it with a good crack of salt. And then we'll start with the asparagus. So I kind of just want a bit of a char on these. A little bit softer, but a slight char as well. That's exactly what we're looking for, a bit of char on them. Nice and soft, but not too soft. Lovely. So now the broccoli is done, we shall add it to the asparagus. Where are my tongs? Where's these? I've just cut the asparagus in half, and I'm going to do the same with that broccoli when it's cooled down slightly. We will get rid of that. So I've just taken the grill off because the bone is quite large, and then we'll just leave it doing its thing. So we've got the tomahawk on the coals now. We're just going to chop these up slightly. So we will go in with a dribble more olive oil. More salt. Pepper. Some lemon juice. minus the pips. Get that good shuffle. Now we've got some crumbled feta cheese. We're going to put some chili flakes in. Let's take a look at this. So now we've turned that, just put this into a serving bowl. More feta. So let's check internal. 50, 55, yeah, so we've got a variety of temps, but I am pretty happy with that. It's got a nice char on the outside. Just take that bit of charcoal off of it there. Right, the moment we've all been waiting for. Let's carve this beautiful thing. The string off. Start by cutting the bone off. And then we'll cut the top bit out. That's what we're left with. just to serve it up on this board because we're going to put it in the centre of the table. But there we have it. Beautiful ribeye on the bone, also known as a tomahawk. With broccoli and asparagus, feta salad.